Annie, will you call the roll?
Mayor Chesley,
Here.
Vice Mayor Rice,
Here.
Councilman Albright,
Here.
Town Manager Hicks.
Here.
We have on the agenda tonight approval of minutes for the January 6th town meeting and the January 27th work session minutes. Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved. Seconded.
Are there any revisions or additions?
I had none.
I have none. Then all those in favor of adopting as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes will be approved as presented. We'll move on to reports of officers, boards, and committees. Annie, will you read the permits report?
Building use and occupancy sign permits issued during the month of January 2014. There were no building permits issued that month. Use and occupancy permit, January 29th, St. Mary Star of the Sea Church, 30 Mattingly Avenue for the church hall. There were no temporary use and occupancy permits issued, no demolition permits issued. There was one grading permit, January 14th, DeMario Construction Company Incorporated for PNC Bank, grading after demolition of the existing home at 1 East Poplar Lane, and there were no sign permits.
Thank you. I know there was a demolition permit issued last month for the property at 1 East Poplar. How long does a demolition permit run?
Demolition permit is good for 6 months. The delay has been the inclement weather.
So if it ever stops raining or stops freezing, we can get the building done. Next, we have the finance report. Ginger?
Finance report for January 2014. Beginning cash balance is negative $7,757. Total revenues $515,899.68. Total expenditures $857,235.05, with an ending cash balance of negative $349,092.37. Total investments $1,692,431.74. Any questions?
So I assume we're going to make a transfer pretty quickly to...
No, we don't have to. They'll sweep it up. PNC will do it automatically.
Comes the town manager's report. He will present his report, code enforcement report, and the planning commission report. There was no economic development commission meeting, so there will be, the only report is there was no report, so.
Town manager's report, January 2014. Once again, please have your trash curbside by 7:30 a.m. on the day of your scheduled pickup. New members are still needed for the Economic Development Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, and Ethics Commission. The leaf vacuum is over for the season. Over for the season. The town's annual audit will be completed this month. Public Works has begun the work along the connector trail. The work will be completed this month, weather permitting. Work on the new website is well underway. Work on next year's budget has begun. The town will be receiving a grant in the amount of $30,000 from Maryland Department of Environment for our wastewater treatment plant ENR performance in 2013. The town has received 4 bids for the Trailhead Plaza located on the Village Green. The town is looking into providing the citizens with the opportunity to pay their utility bills via online. Recycling with Waste Management has become a big issue. They haven't been out here on their Wednesday route here the past couple of weeks due to holidays and inclement weather. Whenever they do not come out on Wednesdays, they will be here that following Saturday. The town is looking into providing toters for recycling and trash. So the toters that you see all around the county, we're looking into those as well. And last but not least, I got to respond to this article that we had in the newspaper where it said that I said that the town must be selective in what businesses go into the boarded up buildings. That is not what I said. I just said whatever goes into the building should support the Navy base and or the citizens of the town of Indian Head. And then there was a second part of that article where it said that the town discussed the closure of Well 3 We never discussed closing Well 3. We're going to make the necessary repairs to Well 3 to either keep it in the Patapsco Aquifer, or we're going to go deeper into the Patuxent Aquifer, depending upon what the costs are.
Thank you. I have one comment on the new members for the Board of Zoning Appeals and the Ethics Commission. The Ethics Commission doesn't work so hard that 2 people resigned, 2 people retired and moved out of Indian Head, so we need 2 replacements for the Ethics Commission. And the Board of Zoning Appeals, we need, how many members there? How many members for Board of Zoning Appeals?
Board of Zoning Appeals, we got 1, 2, 3. We can always use 2 or 3 more.
Okay.
So we need 2 or 3 members for that.
And again, the Board of Zoning Appeals isn't a board with a heavy workload. They meet as needed, and generally that's 5 or 6 times a year, last several years. And the meetings are, when we need a meeting, Annie calls around to the board members and finds out 2 or 3 days that work for them, and then they schedule a meeting convenient for everybody on the panel. It's not a pre-scheduled meeting that you have to try and meet. So if anybody's interested, please submit an application for one of the positions on any of those 3 committees, the Economic Development Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, or the Ethics Commission. The application form is on the website. I think it's on the Boards and Commissions page. Okay.
Code Enforcement Report, January 2014. The town issued 1 notice of violation during the month of January. That was a vehicle violation. The town also performed 17 rental inspections. Last but not least, we have the Planning Commission report for January. The Planning Commission approved a proposed carport/storage addition at the Indian Head Volunteer Fire Department.
Are there any questions on the manager's report or the code enforcement report or planning commission report? Seeing none, then we'll move on to Bureau of Fire Prevention. Wayne?
Chief Williams couldn't make it tonight, so he left me the honors to give the report. It should be short and brief. As you can see, Puxtony Phil did see his shadow, so we have a couple more weeks of cold, flu, and fire weather, so fire season. For the month of January, the department responded to a total of 25 fire responses, 7 which were in the town limits and 18 were mutual aid response to surrounding areas in Charleston and Prince George's County. The EMS division responded to a total of 26 emergency medical calls. Departmental members also completed 120 hours of training through departmental and formal training. Jeff also left me a note to read here. With the cold winter blasts that have recently occurred, the fire department would like to remind everyone to be prepared for power outages and extreme conditions that could occur as a result of severe winter weather. Have flashlights on hand. Try to avoid using candles. If a generator is used, be sure that it's kept outside and away from the residents to avoid CO, which is carbon monoxide poisoning. Alternative heat sources such as space heaters should be kept at least 3 feet away from combustible material, and never try to refill a hot object like a generator or something with gasoline or fuel while it's still red hot. And last but not least, the department is looking for members in the community to be willing to come up and help in the department. If you or your family members are interested in helping the department or your community, stop by on Thursday evenings. We have our training drills every Thursday night at 7:30. So you're more than welcome to come up. The pay isn't too good, but the camaraderie is great. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Wayne. Next, we have the Community Affairs. Karen will give the Community Activities Committee report and the community events.
Good evening, everybody. Okay. We are currently working on Our Easter spring it's called a spring party and Easter egg hunt, which is on April the 6th, which is a Sunday from 2 to 4. We, of course, always welcome any volunteers from the community that want to help out for the day. The more the merrier. And also coming up in the month of March, on Saturday, March the 22nd, is the I think it's the 5th annual United Way Springdale Charles County Sheriff's Office Trail Bike Ride from 7 a.m. to, I'm super copying things here. Registration starts at 9 and you start riding around 10. You ride on the trail as far as you would like. A lot of people do the full 13 miles to White Plains and back, or if you just want to do a mile or so, it's totally up to your leisure. It's not a race. It's just a fundraiser and a good time. And then you come back to the Village Green here in the pavilion, and you're treated to a homemade lunch, which is done by our wonderful Community Activities Committee. And then we have on Wednesday, March the 26th at 7 o'clock in the Waldorf J.C.'s Hall, the annual Charles County Sheriff's Office Crime Watch kickoff for the year. And everyone in the public is welcome, not just those of us that have taken Crime Watch training or public officials or anything. It's a nice little way to meet a lot of people in the community. I think last year we had, almost 150 people, I think, throughout the county-wide that showed up. It's just a nice way to network, and you can learn a few things and share a good evening with people. And then we have, I covered the Easter party, and then our volunteer appreciation dinner and recognition is set for Thursday, April the 24th. And that just rounds out the next couple of months of things coming up that we are working on. We will not have a meeting on Tuesday, February 11th, which is our normal scheduled meeting, because the Indian Head Business Association is doing their second annual mixer, and we'll be assisting with that in here. So we will not have a meeting per se, or maybe we'll just meet in the kitchen. Catching the community spirit around town. 2013 is history. But we can look back and reflect on a very busy and productive year filled with many highlights of living, working, and playing in Indian Head. Whether you've lived here a short while or most of your life, as many of your neighbors, surely you've enjoyed the hometown charm of yesteryear in many aspects of your daily living. And what continues to keep the hometown charm alive and thriving is community spirit that radiates throughout the town of Indian Head. I think I say it just about every month, and I say it a lot at our events, that we are richly and truly blessed with many many wonderful citizens possessed by that community spirit that volunteer their time and talents and an energy that radiates far and wide, touching the lives of countless others in both small and big ways. All of y'all give yourselves freely without fanfare or expectations. Our Community Activities Committee members and volunteers whom our town council is going to recognize tonight, without them, the town would not be able to provide the variety of community events that we do year after year. Last year, we did over 35 events, and I think that's a lot of events for a 12-month period. A lot of them overlap each other. There'll be 3 or 4 in a month, and these people are phenomenal. I can't say it enough. And there's many other organizations, the Senior Center volunteers, the caregivers, churches, the youth sports coaches and team moms, the Homeowners Association boards, members of NETS, the Neighbors Eager to Serve, who provide a tremendous, invaluable services to our families in need on the western side of the county. You have Catholic Charities, we have food pantries, and we have many other outreach organizations, scouting, 4-H, PTO, youth service, fraternal, social, religious, and veterans organizations. And of course, our members, volunteer members of the Board of Zoning Appeals, Planning Commission, Beautification, Green Team, the Town Election Board, Neighborhood Crime Watch, Economic Development, Indian Head Business Association, Western Charles Business Association, and all of these people are citizens who graciously volunteer their time, talents, and effort to make our little town of Indian Head a great hometown place to live, work, play, and grow in. And of course, I can't forget our volunteer firefighters and rescue squad members, our town's community policing officer, which we have been blessed with for the past 18 years. Not the same one, obviously, but hopefully you'll be around for 18 years. The officers of the Charles County Sheriff's Office, our other law enforcement agencies who serve and protect us each and every day, not always receiving the respect that they are so deserving of. And of course, our military men and women from the base here and throughout who make our world a better place, fighting for and protecting our freedoms. I guess what I'm trying to say is this is a great little place to live. I love living here. I mean, I really live in Potomac Heights, which is just a stone throw away. But this is a great place to live with lots of fun things to do if you want to do them. And we're looking forward to a bright and prosperous 2014 filled with lots of fun things to do around here. And I can't thank everybody enough, and especially the wonderful people on the Community Activities Committee, because they make my job easier and they have lots of fun doing what they do. So, see you all at our next event and those thereafter. Come out, help us out if you want to, or just come and help and hang out and have a good time, because we always have fun at all of our events, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Yes. So, that's it for that. Any other questions or any questions? Yes, ma'am? February, oh, okay, well, that's not an Indian Head thing, but I'm sorry. Yes, there is a Valentine's, I'm sorry, I should have grabbed one of those. A Valentine's bingo, candy bingo. Actually, most of us are volunteering to work that. In Potomac Heights, starts at 6 o'clock, is it? 6:30 at the community building. It's a $5 donation at the door, and it's just a fun thing to do. And it's bingo, but everything's going to be chocolate or candy as your prizes. There's no cash or anything, so. But chocolate's better than cash anyway, so. Okay. Okay, anybody else? Okay, thank you.
I don't see anybody here tonight from the Charles County Recreation, so we'll try and catch them next month. Next then we have Community Policing Report. Officer Elliott.
Good evening, everybody. I just have three things. The first thing is weather's bad, so it's going to get worse again this weekend or this week. By Wednesday, they're expecting some snow again and cold weather. In bad weather, watch how you drive, slow down a little bit. Cars are really good, but not as good as people think they are. So if you slow down your speed, you can control. And you won't have to wave me down and have me stand by your car as we wait for a tow truck to pull you out of a ditch. The second thing is about scrap metal. We've had a little bit of issue with people collecting scrap metal that doesn't belong to them. So if you have scrap metal in your yard and you want it removed, then I'm sure there's lots of people that will remove the scrap metal for you. But if you have scrap metal in your yard and you don't want it removed and someone comes in there and removes it for you, that is a theft. So that goes into my third thing is you have to call the police department. If you don't call us, we don't know that your property or anything has been either stolen or vandalized or anything like that, because we can't read your mind. So once again, please call us, and it's easy, 301-932-2222. And that's basically it. Is there anything else?
Any questions for Officer Elliott? Seeing none, then thank you.
Thank you very much.
We We have no briefings tonight, but we do have a presentation. Karen talked about the Community Activities Committee a little bit during her report, and I echo everything she said, but I especially want to say we have an outstanding Community Activities Committee. They are not only talented and dedicated, but they have outstanding skills and, I think, outstanding personalities. They serve super meals at the Veterans Day ceremonies, the Memorial Day ceremonies, the bike event coming up in March. There's numerous times during the year, probably half or more of those 35 events during the year include serving meals. And I have never had a bad meal. They are super well balanced and very tasty. And that gets me to the next point that I made about the Community Activities Committee, their personalities. The food is served with bright and cheery personalities. There's no downturned smiley faces or upside down smiley faces. They're always smiling and cheery. So they're very dedicated. They work hard. Unfortunately, the group isn't quite as large as we would like to make the work a little bit easier, or the workload a little bit easier. But again, I think our Community Activities Committee, in terms of service, runs second to no one.